Today's video sponsor is GGG Mall, where using my SKG discount code leads to a 25% off across several products, making a Windows 10 serial key only $16. After the payment, you'll receive the key in your account and all you need to do is to introduce it in your Windows settings and bam! You have an activated system.
Hello guys, this is Gameplays, I'm Fabio Pisco and welcome to my channel. Well, as for today's video, we start with the unboxing of the RX 7900 XT. And yes, you heard it right, not the XTX version, the XT version from AMD. Well, first of all, I want to thank AMD for actually sending the card, okay, the XT version. This is an AMD model, okay, not an AIB, not the SIII reference, just the AMD reference model, the one that has been having hotspot temperature issues. Not all cards, but some of them, okay? Now, I don't really know if this card is gonna have problems or not, but I guess we'll know, we finally know after testing, but since AMD sent this card, I believe they actually know it doesn't have these issues. I hope so, at least in order to test, because you guys asked me a lot to test the 7900 XT, and I asked the AMD to send one for testing, and they did, okay? Sadly, I won't be able to keep it, this is just for 3 weeks, but 3 weeks is more than enough to do all the testing that I need. And in the future, if I need to retest the card again, well, I guess I can ask AMD once more to send me the GPU, so it's not an issue, I believe. Let's go to the part that you came to see, the unboxing. So here we are now on the unboxing part. Now, as you know, with the RX 7900 XT, not the XTX version, but the XT one instead. And this time we actually have a version from AMD instead of my previous one, which is the reference version. But from SIII, we now have the original boxes from AMD, okay, which is quite nice actually. Now, as for the front, we have the normal AMD Radeon RX 7900 XT, the nomenclature, then a picture. Yes, a picture of the card itself. On the side, we have nothing but, once again, the RX 7900 XT. On the other side, it's exactly the same. On this side, we only have AMD, and on the back, we have some specifications with the AMD Software Adrenaline Edition, change the way you game, stability, performance, blah blah blah. Then the AMD part, then the UPC, and then the Radeon software here on the top. Okay, basically that's what it brings. As for the case has a very nice mechanism. Once you open it, you actually have this mechanism, which is quite nice. It's not something out of this world. Actually, the XTX version, the box of the XTX version actually brings a mechanism where that when you pull this fully to the back, the card actually rises to the front, which is actually very nice. On the XT, that does not happen, but still very nice. On the box, we have welcome to the Team Red, to the Red Team actually, the new standard high performance gaming, okay? That's what it says here, okay? Also here we have the stripes from the new reference cards, which is very nice, the 3 stripes. The 3 red stripes that you see on the card. And then here you have the card. You also have here saying Radeon RX 7900 XT, in case you haven't noticed. As for the card itself, the packaging is quite nice, won't lie to you. And as for the card itself, it just looks great. I mean, it just looks great as the previous 7900 XTX that I've showed you before. Actually, the one that it is on the computer here in the back is actually the 7900 XTX, so, well, as comparing to the other card, this card is actually quite small. The other card is already small, but this one is actually very small. Also, we have here on the box, here on the bottom, we have some things, some papers, the AMD Red Team, and this is kind of a manual, yeah, the safety guidelines and so on. But it is nice to see that it is here, instead of being just there, it is actually on a separate space that you can hide on your case, which is nice if you ask me, okay? Once again, that's all for the packaging, I believe, okay? Now, as for the card itself, like I told you before, the card itself is very, very nice, okay? But it is also way smaller than the 7900 XTX. It may seem to you that it is the opposite. It is just a bit smaller than the XTX, but it isn't. The XTX is kind of more chunky. Okay, it's chunkier. It is wider, and it has a bit more depth as well. Wider and longer. Yeah. As for the connections, we still have the same two 8-pin connections as usual. As for the back, it is exactly the same, but just smaller. Once again, in depth and width. As for the grills, exactly the same. Okay, just a bit more closed. 3-fan design as well. As for the grills in the front, this is where this card is slightly different, because this part on the front, well, just let the camera focus. This part on the front actually says Radeon, okay? Instead of having the Radeon here on the bottom, which is where the XTX version is, and I really don't like it, we have Radeon here on the side, literally on the side, and I did prefer that the XTX version had the same design as this one in terms of the Radeon logo. It just looks much better, okay? The other card also has a chunkier heatsink, okay? It is bigger, so the card is a bit taller, and the heatsink goes from here to here instead of just here to here. As for the connections, well, we have the usual connections. We have one DisplayPort, one USB-C, another DisplayPort, and an HDMI connection. So 2 DisplayPorts, one HDMI connection, and one USB-C if you want to use it as well. As for the backplate, once again, metal, metal, aluminum, most likely. And the card just feels very, very nice. Not gonna lie to you, the card just feels nice, yeah. As for its size, I told you before that the card is actually very, very small. And for comparison, I'm gonna show you this one, which is just a normal RTX 3060 from MSI. As you can see, just a normal RTX 3060 and the RX 7900 XT, okay? The card is actually the same size as the 3060, but it is actually a lot smaller in terms of width than the 3060. So overall, it is even smaller than the 3060, quite heavier as well. Not gonna lie, it's way heavier. The 3060, as you see, the 3060 is way larger, okay? But this one is way heavier, not gonna lie to you. So lighter, heavier, 3 fans but smaller fans, 2 bigger fans. I do prefer 2 bigger fans, but that would mean that the card would have to be wider as well. And for some systems, I think that AMD actually tried to make this card quite small in order to fit the ITX systems. They're really small form factor systems, and that's why I think they did it. It still looks great, and well, the next step is just to see if I have the hotspot temperatures problem as well as the other users or not. Because with my XTX, I do not have it. As for this XT version, I don't really know. I guess I have to test.
And well guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share it. Also leave your comment in the comment section and let me know if you want to know anything about this card in terms of connections, how it went, if it performed well or not well. If you want to see that, if you are seeing this video in a few months, well, you can simply go and watch my next videos, because they will probably be of testing the 7900 XT in several games, like 40 games, and several more things, okay? So yeah, guess that's it. Once again, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks AMD for sending the card, and see you in the next one. Ciao.